I found it. Remember when I was begging you guys last night to find me this clip? Well, I ended up finding it on his Twitter. For context, what I'm referring to, if you missed it, was Arkansas Senator and man who answers the question, can clothes be designed to accommodate giraffes? Tom Cotton, who was the first to object to Senator Markey's bill that would extend the TikTok ban deadline. Let's listen to a little bit of what he had to say about this, and listen closely for when he highlights the word communist China.
The right to object, which I most certainly do.
Ooh, sassy.
TikTok isn't just another social media platform. TikTok is a Chinese communist spy app that addicts our kids, harvests their data, targets them with harmful and manipulative content, and spreads communist propaganda.
Communist propaganda.
That
I just love that they always feel the need to emphasize it, you know? They can never just be like, yeah, we don't like that the app is owned by a foreign government. See, but they can't say that because then they would have to address why they don't have a problem with all the other foreign governments that own our shit.
Owned and controlled by our nation's worst enemy, communist China.
Communist! China is now our worst enemy? I thought it was Iran. I thought it was Russia. I thought China was just a competitor. A lot of you guys have business there. Now they're our worst enemy? Pick a struggle. They always have to do the most dramatic emphasis on Communist Party. Chinese Communist Party! Which, in case you guys forgot, this is exactly what happened last year when Xiao Chu went to Congress to testify. It was this exact pencil neck fascist who sat there and asked him over and over again if he was really from China. I actually made a video making fun of this at the time. I will link here. Okay, sir, we got you think it's really scary because you said China a lot and communist a lot. What else do you have?
No foreign adversary should have that kind of power over our politics or our children.
Oh, right, the children, the children. Won't someone think about the children? Not only is what he said a lie, but anything that could be said about issues with child safety on TikTok can be said about every other social media app, including Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, and literally has been said about those platforms. I have a faint memory of Mark Zuckerberg in Congress and families in the gallery crying because the damage that Meta had done to their children. But you don't see Tom Cotton really worried about that, do ya? You don't see Tom Cotton worried about the damage that Meta has done. Why? Because he's corrupt as fuck and he also takes money from them.
TikTok's owners had plenty of time to find a buyer, and there were plenty of willing buyers as well. Instead, TikTok whined, lied, complained, sued, and lobbied. Oh, how they lobbied. One notable lobbyist told me that he was offered $100,000 a month, $100,000 a month to represent TikTok, but he refused because TikTok is a sewer of vile anti-Semitism. Good for him.
Not the anti-Semitism routine.
TikTok is a Chinese communist spy.
Bitch, I would never tell you to take a shot every single time this clown said, Chinese Communist Party. You'd get sick. Bitch, I know you're not criticizing people for lobbying. Oh, bitch, I know that you are not criticizing people for being fucking hacks taking lobbyist money. That's you, bitch. You're literally a dog of the Israeli lobby. Tom Cotton, if you to go look at his Twitter, 75% of his tweets are just PR for the Israeli regime. He doesn't even represent America. This bitch is so on the take for the Israeli regime that during Pete Hegseth's confirmation hearing the other day, instead of asking him questions that pertain to the safety of the American people, this bitch leaned over with his whole neck and started asking Pete Hegseth whether or not he was a Christian Zionist, and then made sure to say that he was a Christian Zionist. Think about it, you guys. This guy's such a traitor that it was more important to him that Pete Hegseth swore his undying loyalty to the Israeli regime than it was that he swore his loyalty to the American people. So spare me the fake outrage and the fake concern about the American people and the damage that the Chinese Communist Party is doing or would be doing, since you guys didn't have any evidence for it, on the American people, when it is clear that you don't mind foreign interference, okay? You don't mind foreign interference at all. All you care about, you are fine with foreign interference so long as you're profiting off of it, so long as it's the Israeli regime collecting our data and spying on us and censoring us. Let's not get it twisted. The only reason why this little bitch did this fake tough guy performance is because A, he stands to profit from the ban, B, as I already said, he's a bitch on a leash of the Israeli regime, and so he'll do anything they tell him to do. Has nothing to do with foreign interference. And 3, he has no respect for the American people. None. He works for the donors. He works for the elites. He works for the military-industrial complex who happens to want to go to war with China. And he hates you. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. This bitch has no respect for you. He fucking hates you if you're an American citizen. Look at the way he speaks about the American people, 170 million of whom are on this app, over 7 million small businesses on this app, millions of American creators who work on this app, make their money from this app, have their jobs on this app. This is what he thinks of you.
As the bill was being considered by House committee, TikTok sent push notifications to its users, demanding that they call into Congress and express opposition to the bill. Now, this wasn't a case of American citizens spontaneously rising up to exercise their First Amendment rights, but rather a foreign power egging them on, meddling in our politics, influencing.
You got that? He doesn't believe that any Americans were actually genuinely upset about them taking away the livelihood, the free speech, the small businesses of tens of millions of Americans. No. You don't have your own thinking mind to Tom Cotton. You don't have your own thoughts and feelings and brain to Tom Cotton. No, he thinks that you, who are upset and decide to make your voice heard and call them, are a tool of the Chinese Communist Party. That's how much respect he has for you. He hates you.
And suppress information critical of the communist tyranny in Beijing. Compared to other platforms, TikTok suppresses content related to China's genocide against the Uyghur people, Tibet, Taiwan, the South China Sea, Hong Kong, Tiananmen Square, and the origins of COVID.
Oh, now we're pretending to care about genocides. Like, get the fuck out of here. What you losers don't realize is that no one cares what you have to say about this kind of shit or about human rights after you have defended, funded, propped up, protected, and promoted a genocide for the last year plus that we've all seen live streamed on our phones. Something that you really didn't want us to see, and neither did the Israeli regime, which is conveniently also why you wanted to get rid of TikTok.
TikTok also meddles in the politics of other countries by amplifying divisive content in, for instance, Israel, India, and, of course, America.
So noticing things like the genocide in Gaza, that's promoting divisive content.
And don't forget that TikTok harvests a vast trove of user data, including name, age, email, address, phone number, credit card number, facial features, voice prints, keystrokes, photos, videos, and viewing habits. This data can make users susceptible to manipulation and even blackmail, not only today, but also years from now when users may have become influential persons in the military, the intelligence community, business, media, and other walks of life. We're sometimes assured that TikTok has taken security measures to prevent Chinese communists from accessing this data.
Yeah, no one cares. No one's buying into the fear-mongering about this anymore, especially since we already know that you sell our data. We already know that. We know that Facebook sells our data. We know that all these companies sell our data to the highest bidder. There is a whole industry of data brokers that their whole thing is stealing our data and selling it to the highest bidder. So your little fearmonger about it stealing and harvesting our data just doesn't hit the way that it used to, especially since we know for a fact that there was a bill that was introduced to protect Americans' data and you hoes refused to pass it. So in conclusion, Tom Cotton is a piece of shit. He's a liar. He's Mossad. He's on the payroll of the Israeli regime. And the good people of Arkansas should be voting his ass out pronto.